Good morning, everyone. It's Jamie from Seasons and Ritual and Independence Tree Tarot, and we're here to talk about this beautiful full moon in Cancer. It is December 27th, 2023. The full moon did started to take place, I think, last night around 6 p.m. Central Time. Like I said, it is the 27th. I have it at 100% today, so I was going to read on it today. This full moon was at 5 degrees of Cancer. And those first 5 degrees of any sign, is initiation, starting things fresh, if you will. As I say with my sister, it's fresh. So it was like 4 degrees, 59 minutes. So, or 50, so we just rounded up to 5 degrees of Cancer. Um, Cancer is ruled by the moon. Cancer is a cardinal sign, right? Because our sun is in Capricorn, which is also a cardinal sign. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, who's going to be a big player in this full moon and a big player moving into January. Um, and so we have the moon in another cardinal sign because it's when the moon and the sun are opposite of each other is when we get this beautiful full moon. So we have the moon in Cancer, which is cardinal water. And the moon in Cancer is ruled by the moon. So the moon is just like showing up at home. And I think this just is just a super beautiful, soft way to finish 2023, where, I mean, a lot of us, 2023 was the year of the chariot in the tarot, which is so much movement. Maybe this is a time we can catch our breath, right? Going back to the home, but taking that time to see what your home, yourself looks like, your vessel, and how you want to initiate new things. And the good thing with the sun being in Capricorn in its initiation, it's not a super, super, super fast initiation. Capricorn is the sign of work. And so it wants to work, but it wants to work at a steady pace, right? It wants to work at something that's gonna it's gonna be solid, because it is ruled by Saturn. And so we have the moon at home in Cancer. Cancer is feelings, emotions. It rules the home. And then we have our sun, our solar plexus, right? Our who we are, how we the I am in Capricorn. So it wants to initiate something. Who are you now? Really, who are you now going into 2024? And this is really important because 2024 is not going to be like any other year we've ever experienced before in our lives. And this morning I pulled two cards, and I pulled the Five of Cups and the King of Cups. And when I pull that Five of Cups, that Five of Cups is really we've got to start moving on. We've got to move forward. And that King of Cups is movement, right? Because it is that masculine energy, but it's that divine masculine energy. It wants us to move forward with compassion. But when that Five of Cups comes in, I always say it's the kick in the crotch, you guys. It's like we've got to move forward. We can't keep mourning the past. We can't keep mourning how things were supposed to be. We can't keep mourning. A lot of us were at home with our families, that family dynamic, it is what it is. And this full moon is bringing in like it's time to go. It's go time. And and to be okay with that, right? To be okay with that. Like if and just to be okay with that. We're not going to change that. We here as us is here to be with us. Of course we have friends, of course we have family. Um, but at the same time, we have to take that responsibility to say, I need to work on me and I need to move forward. That family dynamic needs to work on itself with itself, or maybe these were the lessons these people were needing to learn. And it's really hard a lot of times with empaths because we get tired. I know I got tired. And my family's fine, it's not like they were arguing or anything. It's just a lot of energy to be around. And you know, we don't want stories to keep repeating and things like that. At the same time, we're they need to figure that out. We need to move forward. We need to focus on our home. Okay. So um I think that's a big lesson with this full moon in Cancer. And because it is saying you've got to let the past be the past, then it's time to also just show up who you are now. are you that King of Cups? Do you have compassion for how things were? But are you showing up in a leadership role, as in moving forward, taking the reins? You can be compassionate, but at the same time, we've got to move forward. 2024, Saturn used to be Aquarius's ruler, ancient ruler. And on the 20th of January, Pluto hits Aquarius at 0 degrees, whole new karmic starting point, right? And so I think it's really beautiful that we're working with Saturn so much, not only because the sun is in Capricorn, Saturn rules Capricorn, but because the moon, let me get my notes, because the moon will be sextiling Jupiter, who is in Taurus, and also the sun, where it is, let me see, the sun in Taurus. Okay, I said the moon will be sextiling Jupiter in Taurus. And then this Jupiter is trining the sun in Capricorn. And also Saturn is trining the moon, right, at 2 degrees of Pisces. And that's really confusing. So I'll rig this. So the moon will be sextiling Jupiter. Okay, a sextile is, I believe, 6 degrees. I could have this wrong, but it's a good energy. This is when Helen would be here. I'd be like, how many degrees is sextiling? So the moon will be sextiling Jupiter, who is in Taurus, right? In Jupiter's expansion. Right now, Jupiter is retrograde. Jupiter turns direct on the 30th, which is going to be a lot of energy changing when these big planets station direct. We're going to be feeling it. So give yourself a little extra time on the 30th. That is New Year's Eve. Mercury will go direct on January 1st, right? So we're going to have that expansion coming in and a new way talking about it. Bam, bam, right here at the end of the month. Okay. This Jupiter, who is at this 5 degrees of Taurus, that was where the eclipse was on October 28th. The lunar eclipse on October 28th was at 5 degrees of Taurus. Do I remember what was going on at 5 degrees of Taurus on October 28th? Not exactly, but maybe you do. So this could be a fresh start with that whole energy of what was going on at that time. If you guys can have better memories than me on October 28th, or you're a better journaler, you guys can go back and look, okay? That's going to be opening that up, because I do see Jupiter in Taurus. The way I'm reading this, in the sun and the moon sextiling this, is, Taurus is fixed Earth and Jupiter is expansion. And so Jupiter is actually making more room. Jupiter is going to be making new room in Taurus. So that's going to allow us to bring in new ideas, new ways of making money, new ways of being creative, new ways of working the earth, as I always say, to make things stable. Okay. That's how I see this working, this Jupiter in Taurus. Also, we have to remember, Jupiter is trining the sun. The sun is in Capricorn, all right? And it's also trining Saturn. I don't know why I wrote this so shitty, but anyway, and Saturn is at 2 degrees of Pisces. So we have this full moon at 5 degrees of Taurus. Jupiter is right around that 5 degree degree mark. I don't know. I keep wanting to stop and start over, but I don't want to because we're so far. Okay. The moon is at 5 degrees of Cancer. Jupiter is at 5 degrees of Taurus. Saturn is at 2 degrees of Pisces. All these planets are very closely to each other in the same degree point. That's also significant, okay? Because it's making room in these first 5 degree points of these signs, which is bringing in new energy, new ideas, fresh ways of thinking. That Saturn, which is in Pisces, thank God, is stabilizing, right? Our dreams, as stabilizing. It's allowing us to cut through the bullshit. It's allowing us not to get confused by the illusion, right? Saturn's not going to let that happen in Pisces, right? Our sun is in Capricorn. Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. And what I think is really interesting with this trining of Saturn and Jupiter, right? And we talked about this a little bit in moon class. Saturn was Kronos, and he ate all his children because it was predicted that one of them was going to kill him and take over the sky. Well, that happened to be Jupiter. It happened to be Zeus, right? Rhea had Kronos eat a rock, and so he thought he ate all his children. And then what happens is he vomited them back up, and that's how we get the sky. That's how we get the Milky Way. That's how we get all our planets. And so that's why Saturn is known as time. But they hid Zeus away, and then Zeus was the one that led the rebellion, right? And so now they're working together. They have to work together to bring in this new age, okay? Because Saturn is going to be trining Capricorn, or yeah, Saturn's going to be trining, sorry, Saturn's going to be trining Jupiter a lot going into January. And then you have to remember Saturn is Aquarius's first ruler, which is the age of Aquarius that we're moving in, but it's also working with Uranus, who now rules the skies, right? So this is a lot, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing the best job explaining this. I've only had half a cup of coffee before I wanted to come on and talk about this. And so right now, our full moon in Cancer is telling us we've got to prepare our home for this. We've got to prepare that Jupiter is making more space in a fixed sign. It's opening things up. You know, Saturn now is in Pisces. So we're not going to get fooled by the illusion. We're actually going to start making decisions that are going to be stable. We're going to see how we can bring our dreams in and get these guys to work, right? And so it's important to start making sure where we are in our home. It's important for us to make sure that we can leave behind those old stories, however they're coming up, and do it with compassion, right? That's that King of Cups, and it's interesting, right? We pulled two cups, Five of Cups, King of Cups, with this watery moon. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Is that interesting? I don't know, maybe. So, um, and the other thing I'm going to say with working with these trines and sextiles with Jupiter and Saturn, this to me is also because Saturn and Jupiter, and I know this is weird because it's supposed to be a full moon video. It is about this maturing, but I'm bringing it back around because Saturn rules time, but it is about maturing. It is about seeing where you are now, right? It is about seeing where your home is now, right? I always say this all the time. I'm 45. I can't keep seeing things how I saw them when I was 12. I can't keep talking about things how I saw them when I was 18, 20, 30, you know, just we can't. We got to keep moving forward. And one of those things is accepting things however they are and moving forward, right? Loving the self, loving this home, initiating new ways how I want to show up in 2024, initiating this King of Cups energy in all of us. How are we going to show up at the end of this year and moving into 2024? It is about showing up with how you want to be now. How does that feel? Work with that energy. How does that feel with this full moon? What does it look like? What are you bringing in and leaving behind all at the same time? These full moons are powerful. These full moons, when we manifest, these full moons show us what we need to bring in, and they show us what we need to leave behind all at the same time. And working with this energy in Cancer, when the moon knows exactly what it's supposed to do because it's at home, its little feet are propped up on its chair, it's drinking some tea because it's chilly outside, and it's just being. Allow yourself to be. What does that feel like in this home? What does it look like moving forward? Okay, you guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this wasn't too confusing. I hope we got the main gist. Initiating the home, working with these new degree points, or not new degree points, but early degree points in Cancer, in Taurus, in Pisces. Jupiter's creating space in Taurus, which is fixed Earth, right? So it's allowing new ideas to come in. Saturn is allowing it to be balanced. Saturn's going to allow us to ask these right questions to make them work. Mercury turns direct on January 1. Woo! And Saturn turns direct on December 30th. So we're hitting the finish line, guys. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. And allow things to keep falling away, because once we get into January, the landscape's going to change. It's going to look so much different. So I'll see you then for sure as well. Okay, you guys, till then, have a great full moon. I don't know if I'll see you before. I don't know if I'll see you before the new year. So if not, Happy New Year. We are counting down the days till 12th night here in New Orleans. So I hope everyone's enjoying the Yule season and getting through these 12 days of Christmas. Okay, now I'm going to stop it for sure. All right, bye.